It's me, it's Queen Said Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So today is March 10th, 2019. A day or so ago, Captain Marvel came out. So I am getting ready to go see Captain Marvel. I just wanted to tell you guys that I hate people who whine about spoilers. You know you're on the internet. You know everybody's going to see this movie over the weekend, anybody who's interested in it. So if you're interested in not having spoilers, do not be online whining about spoilers. Go see the movie or get offline, okay? You got one or two choices. I can't stand that. It happens on every episode of Game of Thrones. It happens with every Marvel movie. You already know somebody's going to spoil it. So just go see the movie. If you really want the excitement of being surprised, go see the movie. Okay? All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my own advice. I'm out. We're going to do this right now, and I'm going to hit the street. So somebody sent me a message, and what they said was, do Aquarius do well in long distance relationships? Now, an Aquarius is pretty good at alternative relationships. So this is not the kind of relationship that an Aquarius will automatically say no to. At this point in my life, I wouldn't automatically say no. It's not really what I want, but I wouldn't automatically say no. Aquarius, most of us, those of us that do believe in love, generally are like, okay, we'll at least entertain it, especially if we have feelings for you, strong feelings for you. So she asked me, or he or she asked me, do I believe that an Aquarius can do well in a long distance relationship? They always say that Aquarius do really good in alternative relationships, like I've told you before. So more than likely an Aquarius can pull this off. I've had long distance relationships, and I pulled them off for in two cases. It's really funny. Me and my Libras are really funny, but I had two Libras that I was in long distance relationships with, and in both cases it was over 10 years. Now, both relationships were highly dysfunctional, but I didn't stay in them for a long time. This is my recommendation. My recommendation is to have an open relationship. If you're going to go fly off to the Casbah and be there for 4 or 5 years, and you really want the best relationship with your Aquarius, the most honest relationship with your Aquarius, you should have an open relationship while you are doing what you're doing. Because that way, the Aquarius can tell you the truth. If they want to see someone else, or you want to see someone else, you can tell each other the truth. And also, it's freer. If you meet somebody that you like, or the Aquarius meet somebody that they like, they can date them. And let's say they don't meet somebody, then they probably won't. So the other thing is that they might get lonely. You're going to be gone for God knows how long, or they're going to be gone for God knows how long. And one or both of you may get lonely from time to time, but still want to maintain the relationship. So at least in that case, you're being honest with each other. You're being open about it. They know if you're seeing or talking to someone, and you know if they're seeing or talking to someone. Unless, of course, in some relationships, people agree not to tell each other, to just do what they do, but to keep their bodies safe, use protection, safe sex methods, keep yourself safe. But I really don't want to hear about the other woman or the other man. A lot of people do it that way. But whatever the case is, talk it out, be open and honest about it, make some guidelines, make some rules, and then go for it. I think that that's your best possibility of getting the truth, because a lot of dark and gray Aquarius are going to do that anyway. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to have sex. They're going to date other people, and they're just going to come to you and act like nothing's going on because you're not there. It's very easy to hide something from someone in another place, another city, another state, another country. That's easy. It's very easy. Unless you're a super sleuth, it's very easy for me to hide things from you, and you're in Philadelphia and I'm in Costa Rica. That's really simplistic. It may not seem like it, but it is, because you're not here. So even if we're on the phone or we're talking all the time, there are times when we're not. And those times when we're not is plenty of time for me to entertain whoever I want to entertain. So the easiest way to get the truth from an Aquarius and to maintain this relationship is to do an open relationship. Likewise, there needs to be an end game. If you really want the Aquarius to hang in there, there needs to be a time frame. Okay, I'm going to college for 4 years, and when I come back, we're going to resume a monogamous relationship, if that's what you so choose. Or I'm going to be in the military. When I get discharged, I'm going to come back, and we're going to do what we do. We're going to get married. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. There needs to be an end game. You can't just be like, in my case, it was just kind of like perpetual. Like we had no plans to move to each other's place. I wasn't moving to Cali. He wasn't moving here. And when it was with the woman, she was in upstate New York. I wasn't moving to upstate New York. It's freezing in upstate New York. And she wasn't moving where I was moving, or I was trying to get her to anyway. And she kept saying that she was, but she never did. So there needs to be an end game that you're consciously working towards, and it shouldn't be more than 5 years. Seriously, a long distance relationship really should not go on more than 5 years, in my opinion. Some people will dispute that. I know people who've been in them for like I know someone who used to live in Africa, born and raised in Africa, has a family in Africa. He came here to New York City, well, not to the Costa Rica, to the United States, to New York City to drive a cab, and sends his money back home. He'd been there for 15 years. And I'm sitting there like, okay, the money's good. He's sending money back home. That's what's up. But you've been there for 15 years acting like you're not seeing nobody, which you know he is. Acting like he's not seeing anybody. He got kids that his wife don't know about in Africa. So he acting like he not seeing nobody. He's not doing anything. He just masturbating and going to sleep after work because he works so hard, honey. And I'm just so tired to work for you and the kids. And then masturbates and goes to sleep every day for 15 years. And he not a bad looking dude. So I'm like, girl, bye. There ain't no way in hell. And of course it came out years later that he had a family. He had kids. He didn't, of course, get married in the States, but he does have a family. He does have kids, and he does live with this woman. How did he hide this from his family in Africa? Because they're all the way in Africa. They're in Nigeria, and he's in New York, So he hid it, and, as long as he could, and he was able to hide it for quite some time. So, there needs to be an end game. It can't be indefinite that you're going to be away and I'm supposed to keep the cookies on lock for 17, 18, 19, 20 years, I got you for 5 years. That's it. If you haven't moved here in 5 years, it's over, So that's the best way to do it with an Aquarius, It might even work with some other signs too. The problem is that not all signs do well with long distance, and not all signs do well with open. Some signs are going to want you to be monogamous with them all that time while you're in Timbuktu. And I'm sorry, as an Aquarius, that's just not realistic. I might at first be so hung up on you and so caught up with you that I don't want anybody else. But after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that loneliness starts setting in. And it's going to be hard for me to turn down all the people that's in my face knowing I'm lonely and you across the world and I don't know if and when you coming back. So if you have an open relationship and an end game, that'll be your best way to maintain a long distance relationship with an Aquarius. Okay? All right, guys. It's time for me to go see my movie. I'm out. Deuces. Everything you need to know about me is going to be underneath this video, all of my personal information. So please check underneath this video and let me know if you need something. Okay? See you later. Wakanda forever.